You just finished cooking. There is a pan of bacon grease sitting on the stove, still warm, still liquid. So you do what you have always done. You tip it into the sink, you turn the hot water on full, you squeeze in a little dish soap, and you watch the whole greasy mess swirl down the drain and disappear. Clean pan, clean sink, no problem. That is what your mother did. That is what her mother did. And it feels completely safe. I have been a master plumber for 35 years, and I am here to tell you that habit is quietly destroying your plumbing. That grease you just rinsed away did not leave your house. It moved about 6 feet down the line, cooled off, and stuck to the inside of your pipe like candle wax. And it is going to do it again tomorrow and the day after that. Stick with me, because I am going to show you exactly where it collects, how to read the warning signs before it costs you real money, and near the end, a third fix that hardly any homeowner has ever heard of. In 35 years of pulling apart kitchen drains, I can tell you that grease is the number one thing I find killing residential lines. Not roots, not toys, not hair. Grease. And the reason it wins is that nobody thinks they are doing anything wrong. The person with the hair clog knows they have long hair. The parent knows a kid dropped a toy in the toilet. But the grease pourer honestly believes the sink took care of it. That is what makes it the silent one. So let me explain what is actually happening, because once you see it, you will never pour grease down a drain again. Grease is a strange thing. When it is hot, it behaves like water. It is thin, it flows, it goes wherever you send it. But grease is only liquid because it is hot. The second it starts to cool, it turns back into a soft solid, the same way a stick of butter is rock hard in the fridge and runny in a hot pan. Your drain is not hot. The pipe running through the wall and under your floor is cool, sometimes cold. So that grease has maybe a few seconds of travel before the pipe pulls the heat right out of it and it firms up again. Now here is the part that trips up good, careful people. You have heard that hot water and dish soap make grease safe to pour? It sounds right. The hot water keeps it melted. The soap breaks it up. So it must carry it all the way out to the sewer, correct? It does not. All the hot water and soap do is buy that grease a little more distance. Instead of hardening right under your sink, it rides another few feet down the line, cools off in a colder stretch of pipe, and hardens there instead, in a spot you cannot see and cannot reach. You did not solve the problem. You just moved it somewhere worse. And to understand where it lands first, you have to follow it down, starting with the very first bend it hits. Right under your kitchen sink, there is a curved section of pipe shaped like the letter U. Plumbers call it the P-trap. Its whole job is to hold a little pool of water in that bend at all times, which forms a seal that stops sewer gas from floating up into your kitchen. It is a simple, brilliant piece of design. But that same bend, that low spot that always holds standing water, is the first place your grease gets caught. Think of it like this. Warm, greasy water pours in, hits that pool of cooler water sitting in the trap, and loses its heat almost instantly. The grease separates out and starts clinging to the walls of the bend. One dinner does not do much. You would never notice. But you are not pouring grease once. You are doing it a few times a week, for years. And every single time, a thin new film hardens on top of the last one. It builds up in rings, layer over layer, exactly like plaque narrowing an artery. I have pulled traps out from under sinks that had an opening the width of a pencil left, in a pipe that started as wide as a 50-cent piece. The homeowner had no idea. They just thought the sink was getting a little slow. But the trap is only the first stop. When the buildup there gets bad enough, the grease that does not stick starts traveling farther, into the branch line, And this is where it gets expensive. The branch line is the larger pipe that carries waste from your sink out toward the main drain of the house. It is wider than the trap, so it takes longer to notice trouble there. But grease does the same thing in a bigger pipe that it does in a small one. It coats the walls, the opening shrinks from the inside, and now every bit of food, every coffee ground, every stray noodle that washes down has something sticky to grab onto. The grease is the glue. Everything else is the brick. I had a call a couple of winters ago. Nice family, newer house, kitchen sink that backed up every few weeks like clockwork. They had already paid 2 different outfits to snake it, twice each, and it kept coming right back. When I finally ran a camera down the line, the pipe was 3/4 closed with a hard gray ring of old grease. Snaking was never going to fix that. It needed to be cut back to bare wall. Because once that branch line is coated, a plain drain snake often will not fix it for long. A snake punches a hole through the clog, water runs for a week, and then it closes right back up, because the greasy coating is still lining the whole pipe. What actually clears it is a hydrojetter, which is a machine that blasts water through the line at very high pressure and scours the walls back down to bare pipe. Here are some real numbers so you know what you are looking at. A basic drain snaking from a plumber usually runs somewhere between $150 and $350. A proper hydrojetting, which is what a greased-up line actually needs, tends to run between $300 and $600. And more if they have to put a camera down there first to find the blockage. And if you ignore it long enough that the main line backs up into your home, now you are talking about cleanup and possible pipework that can climb past a few $1,000s fast. Quick pause here. I put my experience into a book called 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes that will save you $10,000. It covers 50 repairs you can knock out on a Saturday with basic tools. And it shows you when a contractor's padding a quote and when a fix is safe to do yourself. That knowledge saves you thousands. Grab it with the code on screen. Now let me show you where all of this ends up, because it does not stop at your property line. Every drop of grease from every kitchen on your street rides the same sewer main out toward the treatment plant. And when enough grease meets enough of the wet wipes people wrongly flush, along with the calcium and minerals already in the water, it fuses into something the sewer crews have a name for. They call it a fatberg. A fatberg is exactly what it sounds like. A giant, rock-hard mass of congealed grease and trash, welded together into something with the consistency of concrete. The grease reacts with the minerals in the water and turns almost soapy and stony, which is why you cannot just wash it away once it forms. In London, a few years back, crews found one under the Whitechapel neighborhood that weighed about as much as a row of double-decker buses and stretched longer than 2 football fields. They had to send men in with shovels and high-pressure hoses to chip it apart by hand, piece by piece, for weeks. It is real. It is disgusting. And it started exactly the way yours starts, one warm pan of grease at a time. But you do not need a sewer that dramatic to have a real problem. The early warning signs are showing up in your own house long before anything backs up. And once you know what to listen for, they are easy to catch. The first signs is a sink that drains slower than it used to, especially your kitchen sink. Not fully clogged, just lazy. The water pools for a second before it goes down. Folks shrug that off for months. That slow drain is grease narrowing the pipe, plain and simple. The second sign is a gurgle. If your drain makes a glug-glug sound as the last of the water goes down, that is air struggling to get past a partial blockage. A healthy line runs quiet. The third sign is smell. Old grease trapped in a warm pipe goes rancid, and you will catch a faint, sour, oily odor drifting up out of the drain. Worst in the summer when the pipe is warm. That is not the garbage disposal. That is coating on the walls of your line. The fourth sign is the clog that keeps coming back. If you or a plumber clear a slow kitchen drain and it runs great for a week and then slows down all over again, that is not a fresh clog. That is the grease coating you never removed, closing back up. A real clog stays gone. A grease problem returns. And here is the one that should really get your attention. If more than one fixture goes slow at the same time, say your kitchen sink and a nearby floor drain, both start backing up together, that is not a local clog anymore. That means the grease has reached the main line that serves the whole house, and that is the expensive kind. Catch it at the lazy single sink stage and you save yourself a world of trouble. So what do you actually do about it? The prevention is almost stupidly simple and it costs you nothing. Keep an old coffee can or a glass jar right next to your stove. When you finish cooking, you let the grease cool in the pan for a few minutes until it is no longer scalding, and you pour it into that jar instead of the sink. When the jar fills up, you cap it and drop it in the trash. That is the whole trick. For the light film left on a pan, wipe it out with a paper towel before you wash it, so it goes in the garbage and not down the drain. Bacon grease, hamburger fat, the oil off a roasting pan, chicken skin drippings, all of it goes in the can, never in the sink. Do that one thing and you will never build a grease clog again for as long as you own the house. It is the single cheapest piece of plumbing insurance there is. Now let me kill two myths I hear constantly because they keep people pouring. The first is the cold water and disposal one. Folks believe that if they run the garbage disposal with cold water going, the grease is fine, because the cold keeps it hard and chops it up. Here is the problem with that. Cold water does keep the grease solid, yes, but solid grease does not vanish. You are now sending little hardened chunks of fat down the exact same pipe, where they catch on every rough spot and pack together into a plug. Hot water spreads a coating. Cold water sends down pellets. Neither one gets the grease out of your house. The disposal grinds your food. It does nothing at all to the fat. The second myth is the boiling water flush. You may have heard that a kettle of boiling water once a week keeps grease moving. Be careful with that one. On a line that is already coated, a hard blast of boiling water can loosen the grease just enough to slide down and jam again in a tighter spot farther along. And on older pipes with certain glued joints, repeated boiling water is not doing them any favors either. Warm is fine for rinsing. Do not count on boiling water as a real cleaner. Now, if your line is already slow, you have a decision to make, and I want you to make it with clear eyes. If it is just one sink getting lazy and you caught it early, you can often stay ahead of it yourself with what I am about to show you. If several fixtures are backing up at once, do not waste money on the jug of a store-bought chemicals. That is a mainline problem, and you want a plumber with a camera and a jetter, not drain cleaner. And when that plumber shows up, keep your guard up. If a slow kitchen line gets you a quote to dig up and replace pipe, get a second opinion first. 9 times out of 10, a greased line needs a good jetting, not a whole new sewer line. Do not let anyone sell you a repipe when a cleaning would have done the job. And that brings me to the third fix I promised you, the one hardly anyone talks about, because there is no drama in it and nobody makes big money selling it. It is an enzyme drain treatment. Not the harsh chemical stuff that eats your pipes and burns your eyes. I mean the bacterial and enzyme-based products, the kind that pour in clear and go to work slowly. What they actually do is seed your line with the same natural bacteria that eat organic gunk, and those little bugs live in the pipe and slowly digest the grease and food film right off the walls over time. You pour a dose down the drain at night, once a month, right before bed, so it sits and works while no water is running. It will not blast out a solid clog. It is not a rescue tool, and I want to be honest about that. but as a monthly habit on a line that is starting to slow. It keeps the walls clean and buys you years. A jug of it costs less than a single service call, and I have watched it quietly save people from ever needing one. Pair the jar by the stove with a monthly enzyme dose, and honestly, you may never have to think about your kitchen drain again. So there it is. Cool the grease, pour it in the can, wipe the pan, and let the little bugs handle the rest. That is a lifetime of clear pipes for the price of an empty jar you already have. One last thing before you go. That book, 50 Easy Plumbing, fixes that will save you $10,000, keeps you from ever handing over a 4-figure check for a job that never needed one. The code on screen takes you straight to it. And if you want more honest, no-nonsense fixes that keep money in your pocket, subscribe to the Mark Silverbridge channel.